Marcus Took and Bucky Brooks looking through a scout's eye on NFL Now, talking about the top defensive players to watch this offseason. Bucky, and I look at the list right here. You got one player in the same place he's been, one guy in a new uniform, and one guy in a old new uniform. Darrelle Revis.
Absolutely, Darrelle Revis. The last time we saw Darrelle Revis in New York, he was creating Revis Island. I think he gets back to doing that in the return. This is an outstanding playmaker, the most versatile and talented cornerback in the National Football League. A lot of people dispute who's the number one corner. I believe he's number one because he can do so many things. He can play in bump. He can play off. He can travel, meaning he can play in the slot. He can play outside. He can travel and play on both sides of the line. Playing in this defense on the Todd Bowles, I expect him to be a lockdown corner. And part of the reason he will have more success here than he's had in any other place, this defensive line is more talented than the unit that he's played with before. Talk about Leonard Williams joining, Muhammad Wilkerson, and Sheldon Richardson. They can come after people. The ball has to come out quicker, so now he can be more aggressive. Darrelle Revis will get back to being a guy that will be in contention for being the Defensive Player of the Year this year because he has all the pieces around him to allow him to do what he's always done successfully.
He and the rest of those Jets defenders have to be licking their chops when they think about how good they can be in 2015. This defense could be good, too, in Detroit, especially with Haloti Ngata coming over from Baltimore. He's not Ndamukong Suh, but he might be able to get the job done.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited about Haloti Ngata joining the Detroit Lions. One guy in particular, Terrell Lawson, defensive coordinator, spent some time with Ngata when he was a secondary coach for the Baltimore Ravens. He knows exactly what he's getting with Ngata, a guy that is a versatile chess piece along the line of scrimmage. He can play him at the nose. He can go into a 3-4 defense, play him on the outside as a defensive end. But what he will do, he will open up the game for the pass rushers on the outside. Look for Ziggy Ansah to be a guy that is a dominant force. Ansah had 15.5 sacks the first 2 seasons playing in Detroit. Look for him to finally hit double digits because all of the attention will be on Ngata. He will be a guy that commands multiple blockers, creating one-on-one opportunities on the outside. Helps that defense tremendously.
A ferocious line in Detroit, a maybe more ferocious one in Miami, and Ndamukong Suh comes over. Does it help out Cameron Wake? How much does it help him out?
It absolutely helps him out. And Ndamukong Suh commands a lot of attention on the inside, much like I talked about Ngata really being a guy that can be the focal point of the defense. Suh comes over to Miami and does that. But with Cameron Wake on the outside, you're talking about someone who has 63 sacks in 6 seasons, a guy that is a hard worker, energetic pass rusher, first step quickness and burst. When you have to slide your offensive line away from him and give one-on-one opportunities to Wake, he is going to hurt you. And Ndamukong Suh really frees him up to really be the dominant player that he's been consistently throughout his career. I think the Miami Dolphins defense is going to be outstanding because Wake and Suh are really going to wreak havoc on the inside and outside of that defense.
We talked about 3 defenses that should be seeing some changes in 2015 among the Jets, the Lions, or the Dolphins. Which defense do you see being the best?
The Jets. The Jets have everything that you could want on the defense. They can rush the pass without having to blitz. They have lockdown corners in Antonio Cromartie and Darrelle Revis. And then you have a guy, Todd Bowles, who likes to dial it up. I think the Jets have everything in place to be the number 1 defense in football when we look back at the 2015 season.
All right, we've got our eyes on Darrelle Revis, Haloti Ngata, and Cameron Wake. You can get all your complete offseason coverage by visiting NFL.com.